Yeah, I had it before. Everything was great, so I don't know what the problem is.
Hello, everybody feels good after the first game.
Yes.
Everybody in your team, how are they? How are the guys?
Everybody okay. Difficult game, you know. It will be a tough game for the both sides. We know we are playing against very good team, very athletic and physical team. But also we are in good shape. We are ready to play.
You already won 4 of 6 games against Spanish teams. Do you like to play against teams from Spain, especially? Or
what do you mean 6 games?
I mean in this BCL, this season in BCL.
Yeah, it was. We played before against Spanish teams, but each game's another story. We will see. You know, they like to play transition offense very quickly. We must stop them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck today.
Hi. Hi, welcome.
Hello, how are the team feeling after the first game?
I think very good. With confidence. It's a one game emotion game tonight, but we have the control the emotion, but play basketball.
Do you have some special plan to play against Karsiyaka?
We play against a physical team, high quality players. We need to play with rhythm and dynamic game.
Thank you very much. Good
Thank
luck
you.
today.
Well, everybody, hello. Welcome back to Nizhny Novgorod. This is the Basketball Champions League. It's semifinals day, and it's Casademont Zaragoza taking on Pinar Karsiyaka. Perhaps a couple of teams that many did not expect to even make it this far, but Casademont Zaragoza winning against the host, Nizhny Novgorod. And then, of course, Pinar Karsiyaka, just very impressive as they came from behind to win their game against Aaron Nimberg. This is the showpiece event, folks. Everybody, welcome. My name is Jeff Taylor, joined by Josh Bett, one of our commentators. And Josh, this is what it's all about. You know, you play all season, but you want to keep that momentum going. And as you look at the road to the final, these two teams, well, the winner is in the final. They are within touching distance of it. What do you think about this one?
Thank you, Jeff. Of course, I mean, this is going to be a very exciting Final Four, of course, between these two teams. It's been very good here in the Final Eight. Both teams going through some tough matchups, but look at Casademont Zaragoza, how many times they played Nizhny Novgorod this season. The Pinar Karsiyaka, this will be a big statement for them tonight. They want to get to the final as well.
Well, Pinar Karsiyaka, you know, very, very dangerous team with a couple of players, Amat Inbai and Tony Taylor. You know, you and I were talking about this a while ago, having played for Virtus Bologna, the team to win it. Of course, Rodrigo San Miguel won it in year one with the Iberostar Tenerife. And, well, I mean, San Miguel's becoming kind of legendary in terms of games played in the Basketball Champions League. But, you know, this is also a team that has Raymar Morgan, Sek Henry, DJ Kennedy, who gritted through the pain the other night of picking up a finger injury early on. You know, let's look at Pinar Karsiyaka's lineup. Metejan Beerson, who is it that stands out for you other than Raymar Morgan?
Well, of course, you got players such as Matt Inbai playing for the French national team. We saw him have a very successful campaign, Jeff, at the FIBA World Cup in 2019. But not to mention, we have mentioned Tony Taylor did have a quiet game in the last one, along with Sek Henry, so this will be a big matchup for them. But players you mentioned, DJ Kennedy, Raymar Morgan, it's going to be very tough for Casademont Zaragoza to contain these players.
Well, it's a wonderful occasion. Casademont Zaragoza have had their backs kind of against the wall. They've been up and down. They've had coaching changes. Diego Campos, Sergio Hernandez came in, but he left because he had some personal issues to take care of back home in Argentina. And but now it is an experienced coach at the with this team, and Casademont Zaragoza, you know, they've brought in somebody that they believe can help them get to the finish line. And we're going to see him in a minute, but also the roster of this talented team. Jacob Wiley, I know you're a favorite of his, or he's a favorite of yours, whatever. But Luis Casimiro has come in and kind of like stabilized things. Robin Benzing didn't play many minutes the other night, but Dylan Ennis, boy, was he terrific. 26 points, second team star lineup. It is a dangerous team, and it's definitely to win it all together.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a lot of players in this lineup, as you can see, Rashid Suleiman there. But no, we talk about Dylan Ellis because he's one of those players that's a game changer. You put the ball in his hands and he can make things happen. But I mean, it's the depth they've got. We talked about Jacob Wiley. There's many players, experienced players as well. And Luis Casimiro, what a team he's walked into, because he's potentially going to walk away with the European Championship. But it starts here tonight in Nizhny Novgorod.
Welcome to the Culture and Entertainment Complex Nagorny for the Final 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Tonight's semi-final matchup features the teams of Casademont Zaragoza and Pinar Karsiyaka. Let's meet the players of Pinar Karsiyaka. Let's start with the captain wearing number 9 at center, Semi Herten. forward, 6'9", from Turkey, number 1, Metecan
Well, Pinar Karsiyaka, you see the players are coming out semi-early, being one of those players for the national team, but this is going to be a big moment for them. Raymond Morgan, of course, being one of their top performers. He is going to be crucial in the backcourt for Pinar Karsiyaka. Well, the style they need to play is be very aggressive and make sure they can play a high-tempo game, but more importantly, they got to try and make sure as well they get off to a good start from the perimeter. Well, the lineup, of course, coming from this team. As you can see, their coach Zarachet knowing he's got a lot of players that he can choose upon. Again, it's going to be a matter of who turns up tonight. He's going to play against a very, very tough Casademont Zaragoza defense. DJ Kennedy as well, one of those more exciting game changers. And again, another player they have an option for, very deadly on that left hand, is going to have to try and cause a lot of problems along with Tony Taylor. Well, Pinar Karsiyaka definitely showing a lot of depth in their lineup. Sek Henry as well being one of their top scorers in their last victory. Again, this team, they can click off. But here's the man they're going to want to have a tough game for tonight. Amata by, of course, a French international player, played for the French national team at the FIBA World Cup in 2019, who became victorious over the United States. Saint-Cyr as well. And a lot of options. For them, it's going to be how well they can play patient on the offense, and more importantly, how well they take care of the rebounds, because they'll be up against a very, very big team in Casademont Zaragoza. Well, Sarcha knows he's got one job tonight, but right now, we're going to look at the lineups here of Casademont Zaragoza. Zaragoza, they started the season off in the regular season in Group D when they finished above Nizhny Novgorod, who they recently just beat in the quarterfinals. Along with Falco Sombay and Start Lublin. Again, it's been a very, very good season for them. Dylan Ennis, along with much other players. As I mentioned, bringing in Jacob Wiley. It's been a very, very exciting season for the team from Spain. Barrero, of course. There you can see San Miguel, excuse me, a man who's won this competition in the inaugural year of the Basketball Champions League back in 2017 with now Lenovo Tenerife. Rashid Suleiman, one of the more exciting players in the backcourt again. Another experienced player who's played for a variety of teams here in the Basketball Champions League. But there's Jonathan Barrero. Now, we've seen him play very well, of course, for the Spanish national team at the FIBA Eurobasket qualifiers. It's been a very big performance against Poland. Elias Harris, again, another undersized big man, but very physical. He does his job very well protecting the rim down low on the defense. Well, Brasino, a man from Argentina. Again, very, very good shooter, but another player that likes to play up high tempo in transition. Jaime Fernandez, again, relatively quiet this season for his standards. Be interested to see how well he gets on here, along with Alex Font as well.
Number 12, at forward, Robin Benzi.
Well, Robin Benzi, again, did not play too much the other night, and one of the top players in the German national team. Well, there is Mr. Excitement, Jacob Wiley. Hashtag Wiley Airlines. This man will catch alley-oops anywhere on the basketball court tonight. There is the main two, the MVP of the last game, Dylan Ennis, Canadian international, one of the best scorers. Well, Linnison again, another role player here for Casademont Zaragoza. We do see him start sometimes. Again, he comes in to play some very good moments. And they got there, you can see number 44. Product of their depth here for Casademont Zaragoza. Well, they are coached by that man, Luis Casimiro, a very experienced basketball coach. Started his coaching career back in 1990 and really has proved himself very well here in the Basketball Champions League and the ATP for that matter. Sarich, the head coach, as we mentioned, for Pinar Karsiyaka, and it's going to be a big moment for him because remember, Pinar Karsiyaka started off in the Basketball Champions League back in 2016. What a big time it is for them to really get back on the map. What better way to prove themselves live here at the Final 8 in Nizhny Novgorod. Well, we're going to take a look at now at some of the starting lineups of these two teams, and again, it'd be interesting to see what changes they're going to make. Of course, with Pinar Karsiyaka, they started with Raymond Morgan, DJ Kennedy, Tony Taylor, Sek Henry, and Amat Mbai. Well, the good thing about having a player like Amat Mbai in your lineup is that if you want to go big, you can obviously put in the center there, but you can play him at that 5 role and go with a small ball lineup. Semi Erden coming off the bench, and there you can see some of the traveling fans from Izmir, Turkey. Pinar Karsiyaka, wonderful support in one fantastic basketball club. Well, our officials are there for tonight's game, and our officials are Eddie Viator, Edimir Zoropovic, and Wojciech Liszka, coming from Poland, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and France. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to say that we have some of the finest officials here in world basketball. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they'll continue to do so here tonight at the Final 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Well, Elias Harris, of course, being one of those key makers here for Casademont Zaragoza. He's going to have to go up against a very big lineup. Now, they got Tony Taylor, DJ Kennedy, Sek Henry, Raymond Morgan, and no changes whatsoever for Pinar Karsiyaka tonight. As Amat Mbai looks like he's going to play the 5 role. Raymond Morgan, of course, they will be partnered down low, but he is their key player, their go-to player. He made his double-double last night. Only his second one here in the Basketball Champions League with 18 points and 16 rebounds. You know he's going to be a big, big task tonight, along with Mr. France here of the French national team. He's averaging 15 points per game, along with 3 rebounds, shooting 60% from within the rainbow. And what a player he is. And there's that coach, Coach Ufuk Sarica. Now we'll take a look at the starting lineups here. The Casademont Zaragoza. No surprise we'll see Dylan Ennis in the starting 5. He'll play in the backcourt with the veteran player Rodrigo San Miguel. Remember, a champion of this competition, the Basketball Champions League back in 2017. Elias Harris, Nicholas Brasino, and Jacob Wiley. Hashtag Wiley Airlines make the starting line. That's going to be an interesting matchup because Jacob Wiley, with his athleticism and his ability to run the floor, be interested to see who he defends. But 26 points for Dylan Ennis in the quarterfinals against Nizhny Novgorod. And that's been his high points here this season. Remember, he hit a game winner against them in the regular season. Jacob Wiley of the North Macedonia national team had 15 points, 2 rebounds away from that double-double, shooting 70%. What a play he has been, and what an addition he's been, coming in late, just after the qualifying windows of the Eurobasket. Well, there's their coach, Luis Catimiro. Remember, a man who started his career back in 1990 has really proven himself in the ranks of the ACB. Well, right now, he's going to make a name for himself here at the Basketball Champions League Final 8, live here at Nizhny Novgorod.
Well, Josh, this is the moment of truth, really, for both of these teams. Pinar Karsiyaka, the second Turkish team to reach the Basketball Champions League semifinals after Bandirma, of course. Bandirma made it all the way to the final in year 1, and they were beaten by Tenerife in Tenerife. And well, you know, again, I think this is a team, you know, they've got it within themselves to win a couple of more games. But look at Casademont Zaragoza. Their bench scored only 10 points against Nizhny, the lowest ever for them in the Basketball Champions League in their games. They're going to need a little bit more production from their bench if they're going to have some success against this. But the main issue for me is they got to control the boards. And Raymond Morgan was just so tough in his game the other night, that really, there he is. I mean, he is the man of the hour, and I think he's certainly the star lineup. He's definitely the MVP of this Pinar Karsiyaka team. And again, as we were talking, if I were starting a team in the Basketball Champions League or in any league in Europe, I would give him a call. I would be like, hey, why don't you come and play for me? He is that good. Very exciting. Rodrigo San Miguel, look at that. 77 Basketball Champions League game appearances, more than any other player in the competition history. That is an achievement. And let me tell you something, Josh. He is a beast on defense. He really does get after you. Indispensable. Probably doesn't get much ink, but he deserves it.
Absolutely, Jeff. I mean, he's a veteran player. We've seen him from the beginning since the 2016-17 inaugural year of the Basketball Champions League. But, Jeff, one matchup I'm very curious to see is who does Amat Mbai get guarded by? Does he get guarded by Elias Harris, or does he get picked up by Jacob Wiley?
Well, that's one to watch, for sure. Well, hello, everybody. If you're just joining us, welcome. This is the Basketball Champions League semifinals. We are in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. It's Pinar Karsiyaka winning the opening tip, taking on Casademont Zaragoza wearing the white today. So Karsiyaka with Mbai come right out and hit the three-pointer. San Miguel whips the pass down low, and the ball knocked out of the hands of Wiley. Now on the break, another three attempt. That was short. San Miguel picks up the rebound. And Brasino just has the ability to do so many different things to help Zaragoza win. He gets it back to Harris. Very intriguing to watch Harris go to work here. Guarded closely. He gives it back to San Miguel, who had a couple threes in the quarterfinal. They find Brasino on the right, and he ties it. Josh Brasino is, you know what, a great shooter, and that's what got him to the NBA when he was playing with Dallas. And that'll be a player that Pinar Karsiyaka will want to keep an eye on. Now Raymar Morgan whips the pass to Kennedy, and good hands from Harris. What do you think about this start?
No doubt what you were saying about Brasino, of course, but like you see right here, Casademont Zaragoza, they have to be aware right now it's all eyes on the ball. But again, go back to Brasino, wide open. They can't give him those looks. He's going to knock those down all night long.
Well, he will certainly do his best to knock him down. Now, this is interesting. He's got the tape on the fingers that he hurt in the quarterfinal. DJ Kennedy, it's been a case of him, in my opinion, really trying to find, you know, how he's supposed to fit into this team. You know, his first run through the Basketball Champions League with Pinar Karsiyaka, he was the man. And it's not that he's no longer a great player. Oh, look at that. Mistake on the rebound, and Raymar Morgan gets the offensive board and put back. Kennedy is playing, and that's, first of all, great news for Karsiyaka. San Miguel. Well, it looked like, I don't know if that pass was clean, if it slipped out of his hands. And Tony Taylor loses it as he attacks. A little bit of nerves here at the beginning, Josh.
Yeah, definitely, of course. Casademont Zaragoza, that's the kind of play they run with Jacob Wiley. Go off the pick and roll and throw the lob. Elias Harris, obviously a very physical play, but he wants the ball down the low block. So they're going to have to make better decisions in that scenario.
Okay, well, San Miguel hands it off to Dylan Ennis. Doesn't hesitate. And Wiley flew in for the attempted offensive board. Couldn't get it. Well, the pass goes back to Mbai. Oh, nice spin by Kennedy. They get it over to Sek Henry. Good! Boy, Sek Henry, since the third quarter of the quarterfinal, has been on fire. And Karsiyaka will hope that continues. Ennis. Oh, wonderful penetration. Not there. Wiley stays after it. Rebound Morgan. Wiley fouls, reaching from behind on Morgan. He just, his ability to get position down low is it's incredible. Look at, okay, here's Kennedy. Sek Henry, Josh. He's got a good shot, doesn't he?
He's got a very good shot, of course. But again, you got to credit the way Pinar Karsiyaka moved the ball to get that wide open look from the perimeter.
Okay, Mbai tries to get his second three, but I think he missed everything there. So Zaragoza, remember, they started slow in their quarterfinal against Nizhny Novgorod, but they got to grips with it. But I think the big difference, obviously, with Karsiyaka and Nizhny is this is a very athletic Pinar Karsiyaka team. I think probably presents some different problems. Foul called. So nearly 3 minutes into it, just 3 points for Zaragoza off the three-pointer from Nicholas Brasino. Elias Harris, also a player that was very significant for Casemiro in the quarterfinal win over Nizhny. Here's Brasino, goes up and fouled by Kennedy. who pleads his case, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. And if they give him the 3 free throws, it's a big opportunity again. Oh boy, tough luck, Josh. I think Kennedy probably the only thing you could suggest that he did wrong was he went out and defended the 3 and came down on the ball. I know you want to come up on it, but looked like he got a lot of basketball there.
That's a silly foul to give away. Anytime you reach, you always give the official a chance to make a decision there. But you know, right now, Pinar Karsiyaka, they're so eager to get out and transition because they can see a little bit of anxiety in Casademont Zaragoza's game. But they got to stay disciplined. They got to stay principled because they want to keep building the momentum as this game goes on.
So Brasino is the man of the hour for Zaragoza, and he's able to get a couple of free throws. Cuts the deficit back to 3 points. So it really did take a while for Pinar Karsiyaka to get it going offensively the other night, but not tonight. Sek Henry, his second 3, and he has been fouled in the process.
Well, Jeff, that's now 2 3-pointers we've seen, get fouled on. This one's obviously an and one, but again, you got to question the fact, why are they running at someone that's in the air? Why would you make that contact? Keep your hands up, stay principled, stay disciplined.
Sek Henry is off to a fast start here for Pinar Karsiyaka. And it's not often you see a 4-point play, but we just witnessed it here early in this semifinal. So the team from Izmir, Turkey, starting strong. Brasino, meanwhile, puts up a 3. And Elias Harris now called for a foul, going up for the rebound.
Well, that's a tough one, Jeff, because Matsubai, they did so well to get the box out and get cement the position. And Elias Harris, all he's done is go over the top of him. But, you do see that called in this international game.
Pinar Karsiyaka starting well, up 7 with possession. And it's not just Raymar Morgan tonight. It's a lot of Sek Henry. Here he is, Henry driving, this time unsuccessfully. In the open floor, Brasino hands it off to Ennis. And Ennis was fouled. That's where he likes to be. That's where Casademont Zaragoza like to be. They like to be in that fast, rapid game.
That's a great reaction there from Dylan Ennis. Of course, you can see they came up with a defensive rebound, but how quick you said, Jeff, at getting out in transition. That's a style they're going to need to play against Pinar Karsiyaka.
San Miguel able to inbound the basketball to Dylan Ennis. And he pulls up and still searching for his first couple of points. He'll keep putting them up. He's not going to lose confidence. But it really does. He was almost unstoppable the other night against Nizhny. So Raymar Morgan spins, loses control of it. So battle that time won by Wiley.
That's good defense by Jacob Wiley. Standing strong there, not reaching, hands up, and just forcing Raymar Morgan into the turnover.
Ufuk Sarıca over there giving a little bit of coaching to DJ Kennedy as he makes a substitution. Brings in Metajan Beerson. Oh, beautiful bounce pass. Great finish from Jacob Wiley. Mbai bikes it in. So it really was a case of Raymar Morgan just keeping them in the game in their opener against Nymburk. And here they are tonight, getting good balanced play from everybody. Harris really got into a great position, and then as he went up, just kind of looked like the ball almost slipped out of his hands. Tony Taylor to Sek Henry. Again on the perimeter, and Mbai misses. They're getting shots that they want. Brasino almost turned the basketball over there on the open floor. High pick, Wiley, and Brasino, just as he was trying to pass, Raymar Morgan reached in. And Zarapovic, the referee from Bosnia and Herzegovina, just tells Brasino, calm down, watch this.
You can understand his frustrations, Jeff. There's a clear reach and it's a swipe almost, but Brasino's got to be a lot more aggressive. You can see on the transition play, he felt he traveled on it, but right now.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. My thoughts exactly. I mean, I thought the reach was there. And yeah, he was justified, but he's got to keep his cool. Nevertheless, Wiley, the good sign for Zaragoza is that Wiley has now scored a couple of times attacking the basket, as he is. Semi Erden, meanwhile, is checked into the game, the big center for Pinar Karsiyaka. Mbai whips it to the corner. Now Tony Taylor, and he's fouled. So what do you think? I mean, the stakes are so high, and you can see in this first quarter, there's a real edge to the game. A clear push by Brasino.
Yeah, Brasino's got to be careful there. You don't want to pick up an unsportsmanlike foul in the early stages. Both teams need to get a little bit calm, just settle into the game. You know, right now, I think Karsiyaka look better at moving the ball right now. They swing the ball, they get open looks. But, you know, the same thing with Casademont Zaragoza. They got to be a little bit more clinical. Right now, the bread and butter for them is Jacob Wiley on the pick and roll.
The team comes in. Henry takes the seat. And also Rashid Suleiman has checked into the game for Zaragoza. He started quarterfinal. Suleiman, just an electric player. Quite, you know, and maybe Zaragoza trying to address some of those issues about players coming from the bench, trying to get some more points from the bench with that move. So the free throws take the lead back up to 7 points for Karsiyaka here in Nizhny Novgorod. It's year number 5 of the Basketball Champions League. Are we going to have a repeat winner for the first time, or are we going to have a new one? Well, here's Wiley, and Wiley was open, but Semi Erden rebounds the miss. Pearson, good! They're shooting the ball very well tonight. Pinar Karsiyaka up 18-9. Rashid Suleiman brings it forward. Now Wiley spins, turns, puts it up and in. Very tough. Made it look easy, really. Wiley banking it in. I don't know about you, Josh, but he just seems so much more effective when he's right around the basket.
Well, that's exactly it, Jeff. Of course, Semi Erden, as soon as Jacob Wiley has the ball, he sags off. He wants him to shoot the ball, but Wiley's got to go to the basket. Simple as that.
Little step back from Medellin Pearson, and that's his second to fall here. Pearson really coming into his own here with his Pinar Karsiyaka team. Member of Turkey's national team. Now Suleiman passes it back outside to Enes. Goes up, and finally Dylan Enes gets on the board. So 20-13, and Wiley commits a foul a long way from the basket. And Josh, you know, in the quarterfinal, the one player that I've always been impressed, you know, one of the players I've been impressed with Zaragoza the last couple of years has been this guy, Trygve Helenissen. And he seemed a little lost in the quarterfinal. I don't know if it's because of the disruption with the coaches or whatever, but he certainly seemed, yeah, lost was the best way to put it. Let's see if he comes out tonight, because you pretty much know what you're going to get with Helenissen. Rebounds, dunks, block shots. And it's crucial that he really does contribute, especially with Wiley goes to the bench.
Well, I was saying this at the beginning of the game. We've seen a couple of games this year where he's been the starting 5-man, but that really depends what kind of basketball Casademont Zaragoza want to play. Do they want to go big? They'll put him in there. If they want to go small, they're going to bring him off the bench. But he's always going to be one of those relief players. And as you mentioned, just with that size and physicality, he definitely becomes a defensive presence to protect the rim.
So the free throws take it back up to a 9-point advantage Oh, beautiful bounce pass, and there he is, right on cue, the man from Iceland, Tryggvi Heleniusson. Really an incredible story. Grown up out in the country in Iceland, discovered, starts playing basketball, and the rest is history. He's a latecomer to the game, but boy, he's he's been playing his Spanish basketball for the past few years. Ennis on the break, and that was off the front of the iron. Excellent hustle by Betim, who looked like he was going to lose that ball. Sek Henry. I think Casademont Zaragoza eager to keep this game going up tempo. And the bump and the foul is Mbai gets in the lane. The foul on Barrero. Just a little bit of contact, Josh. I mean, it wasn't too much, but the attacking player often is rewarded with the foul there, and that was the case.
Well, that's going to be a problem now for Casademont Zaragoza, Jeff. You take Jacob Wiley out of the game, Brasino. Who's going to be a defensive matchup for a Mats Mbai? I mean, Barrero's a great player, but it's going to be a problem for them. But going back down the previous play, Dylan Ennis pulling up for a three-pointer transition. Nobody from Casademont Zaragoza going in for an offensive rebound. If that's a game plan, they're going to have to find other ways to get back into this game.
So Mbai makes it an 8-point lead, just goes 1 of 2, and again with 1:15 remaining here in the first quarter. Pinar Karsiyaka leading it. Benzing very quiet the other night, and he kind of leaned into the defender. Good defense by Medejan Berson.
Benzing is first, and a substitution for Pinar Karsiyaka.
Well, that's great defense right there. Beat him to the spot. But again, Robert Benzing, we know what a great shooter he is. One of his issues in his game is he's unable to play against quicker defenders.
Was that perhaps lack of quickness in the quarterfinal, which kept him out of the game? We were speculating. And meanwhile, Henry strikes again from downtown, and the lead goes to 11 points. He is shooting it with confidence. There he is again. Sek Henry, look at that follow through. Biggest lead of the game, 26-15 for Pinar Karsiyaka. So 4 of 8 from three-point range. Karsiyaka. Zaragoza okay inside the arc. They've got to get it going. So look, the eyes have it, and they're lacing them up and ready to go. And Pinar Karsiyaka, it just looks like they have just grown in confidence following their performance in the quarterfinal, winning 84-73 over Aaron Nimberg. They carried the momentum from that win on Wednesday. They had a couple of days to get ready for this game. So did Casademont Zaragoza. The teams that are really, you could suggest, are up against it a little bit are going to be SIG Strasbourg and Burgos, who square off in the second semifinal. They both played yesterday, so they've had less time to prepare. But these two teams have had 48 hours, well, almost 48 hours. Ennis comes up to help out. And again, looking for space. Whips it over to Suleiman. And coming out and committing the foul for Karsiyaka. Nusret Yildirim. Not going to provide too much offense out there, but he's gobbling up minutes right now, and that's the key. And Sadija has the luxury of bringing in these bench players right now, especially with that big lead. Suleiman. So he misses, and the ball goes out of bounds and back over to Pinar Karsiyaka. It's been a tough old shooting performance so far for Zaragoza.
Zaragoza's making it too easy right now for Pinar Karsiyaka. They need to run a bit more pick and roll and attack the defense. If they're going to settle for perimeter shots, it's going to be transition game for Pinar Karsiyaka all night long.
Henry, meanwhile, just keeps firing them in. He has stretched the lead to 29-15. Great decision. Dylan Ennis going right down the lane at the end of the quarter. Just gets a little bit, or puts the brakes on that run for Pinar Karsiyaka, but Pinar Karsiyaka are going to like their plays. Ennis again, perhaps that's a sign of things to come for Zaragoza. Certainly their fans will be hoping. Pinar Karsiyaka will be hoping to be more of this for them. Henry on fire, 4 of 4 from deep. Pinar Karsiyaka lead it, 29-17. Talk us through the stats, Josh.
Well, I mean, it's no surprise to see Pinar Karsiyaka shooting 50% from the perimeter. I mean, Henry's got, what, 4 of those? He had 5 for 9 in the last game, but again,
yeah, go ahead.
Jeff, you look at the way they move the ball, it's too easy right now. I mean, Casademont Zaragoza, they have to defend more aggressively because the ball reversals are leaving the wide open shots for the team from Turkey.
So you feel like they need to make a change, and perhaps they will here in between quarters. I mean, it's imperative, really. This lead doesn't grow for Pinar Karsiyaka anymore. I did do a game earlier this year with Pinar Karsiyaka coming back from 17 points, or excuse me, they opened up a 17-point lead against Holon, and Holon came back and won that game in Izmir. So, but the way that they have come out and been able to get what they want, and they've been physical. They've come out and they've won the rebounding battle so far, 9-7. And perhaps the best news of all is that they've had, multiple players come out and get involved. Medejan Birsen has come off the bench. He's got 4 points. Henry's been terrific with 13 points. Hitting all those 3-pointers is one of them. Mbai has also hit a 3, but a long way to go. So Sek Henry with 13 points. He had a season high this year in a game against, in the last game, in fact, against Nymburk, and he started slow in that game. It was really all second half stuff when he had 19 points. It just goes to show how well he has actually played in this Final 8. Benzing.
Again, Jeff, you look at that right there. It's a great penetration by Benzing. He didn't know whether he was going to shoot it or pass it, but nobody's going in for an offensive rebound. You're down by 12. You got to find ways to get back in this game.
Okay, so San Miguel is back in, and he has the assignment of guarding Sek Henry. Betim out on the perimeter, throws it right into the hands of San Miguel. And then San Miguel is fouled, and he's looking for an unsportsmanlike, saying the man wasn't playing the ball there. They have looked at that a couple of times in this Final 8.
He's got a case there, Jeff, because as you said, he's made no attempt to stop him. He's really tried to deliberately stop the transition play, so I assume the officials will go to review on this one.
Okay, so they choose not to. Felt like they had a good enough angle to where they didn't need to review it. San Miguel from the corner. Wow, what a story it's been. His third 3-pointer, a player not known for his offense, has come out and hit some big shots for Zaragoza in this Final 8. Conserman in the game. Now down low to Erden. And Semi Erden, as he rolls into the lane, is fouled by Hlenison.
Well, that's a good matchup for Semiotti because you know he's one of those players that once he gets the ball in the low block, loves to attack. But he can also step out and shoot, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can stretch out Hlenessen on this one.
Well, I think sighs of relief have been breathed. And Zaragoza, Sek Henry goes out of the game. So he's been their biggest weapon so far offensively. But such is the quality of Karsiyaka is that they bring in Mbine. Meanwhile, Hlenessen picks up another foul, this time a long way from the basket.
Well, he's struggling to keep up with Semiotin. And Semiotin's a very tricky player to go against on a pick and roll because he can go to the basket. But Jeff, also, he can pop out to the perimeter and knock down three-pointers.
So timeout on the floor, Josh. 29-19. And, you know, in this tournament, teams have gotten leads early, but they haven't been able to step on the accelerator, and it's come back to haunt them. And Pinar Karsiyaka only know that too well because they were trailing in their game against Ehrenberg, and they came back to win. So they will want to continue to build on this lead. Winning the rebounding battle right now. Josh, year one, it was Beerstar Tenerife winning it in Tenerife. In year two, it was Ike winning it in Athens. In year three, in that great Final Four in Antwerp, Belgium, it was Virtus Bologna prevailing. And then, of course, last year, in the midst of the pandemic, the decision was made to have the Final Eight, and they had it in Athens, and it was Reda San Pablo Burgos that won it. And who's it going to be this year? You know, Burgos have a chance to get their second title. They'll be playing in the second semifinal later today. But look at that, Sek Henry, 13 points, and he is in the flow. Catching his breath right now. Mbai almost charged. Good quick hands by Suleiman, knocking it out of the hands of Medellin Pearson. Now Pearson open for three. And Hlenessen goes up with those big balls and brings it down. Gets it over now to Suleiman. Right in front of the Zaragoza bench. Gets to the middle of the floor. Back to Benzing. And again, the ball knocked out of Benzing's hands by Pearson. Good defense by the Turkey international.
Benzing's got to be a bit more decisive there. Had a lot of room there. We could have had a step back, but again, 7 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get something going quick.
Well, Sergei Panov looking on, general manager of Nizhny Novgorod, wishing his team could be in this game, no doubt. Robin Benzing from three-point range.
Jeff, I can't understand why Pinar Karsiyaka are trying to make Casademont Zaragoza shoot the three-point. They got into a 2-3 zone, and now that's two back-to-back trade balls from Zaragoza.
Oh, beautiful bounce pass on the baseline, but then Pearson throws it away. I think he could have actually gone up with that one. Watch this.
Well, that's hammer time. He's got to throw it down.
He's going up against the guard, Suleiman. At bare minimum, he's going to get to the free throw line, you would think, but he's decided to pass to the corner. So another opportunity for Zaragoza. And a break there as the ball goes to Suleiman, but he just grazes the rim.
That's a poor shot. You know, he had a good look from the perimeter just by that. You ever take a shot that's 18 feet, you might as well step back and take the three-pointer.
And another reach called on Zaragoza, and they're in danger of accumulating so many fouls here. They're going to go over the limit. Hlenessen goes out. After a rough start, he kind of stabilized things a little bit, getting a rebound, getting the dunk as well. Wiley, though, comes back into the game. Taylor. Semi Erden went up, and then Barreiro, the ball was hit right to him, almost surprised by it. He couldn't catch it, goes out of bounds.
Semi have to be a lot better there securing the rebound. Sorry.
Semi Erden played in the NBA. You know, he was in that. You know, he was in that Turkey team that finished runners-up at the FIBA Basketball World Cup back in 2010. This guy can be a major weapon for this team. perhaps lost in some of the discussion because Raymar Morgan has been so good. The long rebound goes out. Pearson able to knock it over to Tony Taylor. Steps back. Casademont Zaragoza riding their luck a little bit with some missed three-pointers here for Pinar Karsiyaka. The foul on Sanserma. The Sek Henry story is that he's 4-4, but he's catching his breath. And the three-point shooting percentage, meanwhile, is dropping. It's down to 38.46%. They're now 5 of 13 as a team. Pinar Karsiyaka, and Sanserma picks up another foul.
Substitution. Back onto the court, number 8 of Casademont Zaragoza, Elias Harris, replacing Jonathan Valero.
And this really is a case, again, Josh, I mean, I'll just remind you, I mean, it's, I won't say they had them on the ropes, but here's Casademont Zaragoza. They're still, they're only down by 7 points, and they haven't really played that well. At some point, they're going to hit their stride.
Oh, absolutely. As you mentioned, players like Dylan Anderson, he's not on the court yet, but it won't be long until he gets back on. He gets things going, but Semi Odom there getting called for a travel. Great defense again by Jacob Wiley.
So big Semi Airden, travels, turns it back over, and Raymar Morgan comes back in for him. Also, DJ Kennedy re-enters the game for Medellin Beersen. So a little bit more.
Coach Saraja now acknowledging with, of course, Jacob Wiley back in the game. He had to make that change.
A wonderful pass. And there is Elias Harris making the shot, and he is fouled on the play. And again, San Miguel working his magic.
Great way there to make the contact and get the and one. That's what it's all about. You got to be aggressive when going to the basket, especially against a player like Raymar Morgan.
But when you're struggling, you do things like that. You miss your opportunities. You miss your free throws. Even so, Zaragoza have closed the gap to 5 points. Taylor, he's been cold. He gets it to Morgan in the paint. Morgan misses. Now, here he is in the open floor. San Miguel. Now, Pinar Karsiyaka wanted to travel on the jump stop from San Miguel. Now, Wiley over to Benzing. That's who they want, but he's short. But the long rebound on the three-point shot, that's one of the advantages. Comes back to Casademont Zaragoza. Suleiman. Very impressive move from Rashid Suleiman, and that closes the gap now to just 3 points. Timeout, Pinar Karsiyaka.
It's a strong move going to the basket. Again, not selling so much for those perimeter shots. Getting into the basket. They need to get a better job of getting into the penalty. Strong finish by Rashid Suleiman.
Well, when the shots aren't falling, the best thing to do is attack the basket, and that's what we've seen with Casademont Zaragoza, who have trailed for the entire game, and they've trailed by as many as 14 points, in fact. And here they are now cutting it back to a 3-point deficit. And part of me thinks Sanija might have left the very hot shooter, Sek Henry, on the bench a little too long, because he was just like playing out of this world. Yeah, he needed a breather, but let him catch his breath and put him back out there. But I know coaches have rotations, and they want to get guys in. I mean, what do you think? You think perhaps Sek Henry should have even stayed in the game? He was so hot.
Absolutely, Jeff. I mean, you called it a couple of minutes ago as well when you mentioned the fact that the three-point shooting percentage went down. I mean, he wasn't just catch and shoot. He was also having step backs in his game, making his own shot. And since he went out of the game, you're right, the percentage has dropped. They've been struggling to find those good looks on the perimeter.
So Sek Henry in the game now, and no doubt he'll be hoping to get some more looks here. And the problem is Tony Taylor hasn't hit anything. He's 0 for 2. Here's Henry. Oh, nice bounce pass into Morgan. Here's Taylor. Is this going to be the first? Yes, it is. Well, Tony Taylor will not be a player that loses confidence, that's for sure. He keeps putting them up, and now 1 of 3 from the floor. Suleiman, meanwhile, misses from behind the arc. And again, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You're getting so much joy driving to the basket. Why change it? But Suleiman opted for the 3. Now, Sek Henry. Again, the bounce pass. Good help defense. Raymar Morgan travels. Probably the best news of all, Josh, is that Raymar Morgan has not really been able to assert himself the way that he did in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, he's obviously been very frustrated there. But, Jeff, every time that Pinar Karsiyaka executed pick and roll Raymar Morgan, you find that Casademont Zaragoza's defense scrambles, and that's why they're getting those good looks from the perimeter.
Well, that was a tough get there for Elias Harris, but then the foul was called. Sadija, you know, had coached Besiktas in the Basketball Champions League, and they had great regular seasons, but they were never able to find any success in the playoffs. It just, for whatever reason, they just, their level, you know, they just couldn't win the big games. But here they are now with a chance, at least Sadija is here with a chance to get to the final with Pinar Karsiyaka. And I know the basketball in Turkey is huge, and the fans in Izmir are among the best in all of Turkey. They love their Pinar Karsiyaka. Elias Harris makes the first and the second. And again, now a 4-point deficit. Down to the baseline, coming back out. Sek Henry. Excuse me, that was Tony Taylor. Now flying in for the rebound, and the ball batted out of bounds by Mbai. So another chance for Zaragoza. I mean, you know, mentally, what would it be like for Zaragoza if they don't go to halftime with a big lead, or, you know, even with the lead? They were really looking like they were going to blow this team away from Zaragoza. And here they are now, just up by 4 points, and another foul has been called. So free throws are coming. They're over the limit. And that foul is on Raymar Morgan. Wow, he is a bulldozer, isn't he?
Well, Dylan Ellis finding out what it's like to set a screen on Raymar Morgan. Again, going to what you said, Jeff, that, you know, Pinar Karsiyaka came out like a house on fire. And as soon as they took the best shooter off the court and decided to go to a 2-3 zone, it just allowed Casademont Zaragoza back into this game.
Zaragoza struggling from the free throw line right now, making 1 of 2, so 5 of 8 on the night. In Nizhny Novgorod, Russia, semifinals of the Basketball Champions League. First semifinal. Mbai passes up the 3, drives in, and tries to get the ball to Morgan. Oh, he was right at the rim, and he can get up there with the best of them, but he elected to pass. Zaragoza can tie it with a 3, or they can pull it within 1. Good find by Brasino. Wiley drives in. And Harris comes in and commits the foul, Josh. I know Wiley can hit that shot, but I like him when he's going to the basket rather than going away from the basket.
Of course, it was out of control. You know, he went down the middle, and again, he just went out of the key with a fadeaway. At that point, he's got to take a jump stop, go for a little jump hook or something. Wiley's better than that. He's got to throw it down, get to the basket, get fouled, get to the free throw line.
Tony Taylor, the second 3 for him. So the lead goes back to 6 points.
Definitely haven't lost the confidence to shoot the ball from the perimeter. That's what they got to keep doing all night long. The Pinar Karsiyaka.
Harris gets it down low and goes up strong. Zach Henry from the arc. Heating up again, our Pinar Karsiyaka.
Well, Jeff, he's made as many threes in the first half tonight as he did in the last game. His question is, how many is he going to finish with?
Yeah, but the good news as well for them is they've got other guys heating up. Tony Taylor's hit a couple. Dylan Ennis. And no white shirts there for the rebound. And Karsiyaka all of a sudden a chance to go back up by 10 if this drops. And it does!
Oh, my Lord.
Zach Henry! Well, maybe Sadijan knows what he's doing. Sit him down, let him rest, and then let him come back out and hit another 4 in a row. Goodness gracious. Look at this.
Jeff, call the electricians, because right now he has shut the lights out here in Nizhny Novgorod.
Pinar Karsiyaka, 9 of 17 from three-point range, and Zach Henry, 6 of 6. Just a blistering performance from Zach Henry. That confirms it right there. 9 of 17. That is a huge disparity in threes. And now you wonder mentally about Zaragoza, because they made the comeback. They were right there knocking on the door, and they had a chance to, you know, to pull even. And the lead has grown once again for Pinar Karsiyaka. So just looking back at Zach Henry's season, and there wasn't one game in which he hit 6 threes. So his season high was 5 of 9 in the quarterfinal. And right now he's 6 of 6. So do you think he likes it in Nizhny Novgorod? 11 of 15 from three-point range.
Casademont Zaragoza, Jeff, they're at a point right now they can't afford to scramble, and they can't afford to collapse. They got to make sure they stay with their man, because if they don't, they're going to find him wide open on the perimeter if they get any mismatches.
So Brasino gets to the line. He was pushed by Semi Erden. Scrambling defensively. Trying to seal the baseline.
Wasn't going anywhere on that play, that's for sure.
No, exactly. And, you know, team is struggling. You don't want to foul them. You don't want to foul them and put them on the line, even though they've had some issues at the line tonight. You don't want to stop the clock, let them collect themselves, go to the line. Certainly not this guy. Nicholas Brasino, one of the great shooters in European basketball from Argentina. Remember, he played in that World Cup final with Argentina against Spain back in 2019. And good help defense from Dylan Ennis. And Erden tried to get hold of the ball. It goes out of bounds. So since the timeout, a little bit better here for Zaragoza as they try to cut into that deficit again. Barreto thought about putting it up. He had a 6 of 6 game from three-point range this season. He puts it up and doesn't get any love from the rim.
Pick and roll there, causing problems again for Casademont Zaragoza's defense, because you can see Semi Erden had to switch against San Miguel, and that's going to be a problem for them. Again, it's been the pick and roll night long for Pinar Karsiyaka. It's opened things up for them on the perimeter.
So Semi-Arid misses the first free throw. Jacob Wiley. And they get the offensive rebound, however.
He's got a few seconds left. He's got to get something going.
And by nope, but nobody boxes out. Metejan Beerson, who flies in. So Zaragoza give away 2, and once again trail by 10 points. They'll try to get this last one to go. Is it going to be Dylan Ennis with the penetration? Might he pull up for the 3? He gets it to Lenison, and that was probably a feeble attempt to get a couple points. Looked maybe not the best option. So a tough finish really for Zaragoza at the end of the first half. Great news for Pinar Karsiyaka, playing very, very well here in Nizhny Novgorod. They lead it 43-33 over Zaragoza.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's quiz time. So
Jeff, there you can see 2 for 10 from the perimeter just isn't good enough right now for Casademont Zaragoza. As well, they've been out-rebounded 21-13. They have to be more aggressive for that matter. Not too much between the assists and the steals between these two.
Zach Henry does 19 points, Josh. And in case you're counting, so 6 of 6 from the arc. And as we watch some of the Sek Henry show, just as a reminder, the most three-pointers ever made in a Basketball Champions League game. Twice players have hit 10 threes. Remember Jimmy Barron back when he played for Neptunus, and also Stephen Gray when he was playing with Peristeri. So I believe that was Peristeri. Anyway, it was a great shooting, and Sek Henry though is, look at this. He just feels it, doesn't he? He's in the zone.
Well, he's making it rain, that's for sure. But again, you know, the problem right now for Casademont Zaragoza is they're leaving him too wide open on the perimeter. And how that starts is it's all going with the pick and roll from Pinar Karsiyaka, making Casademont Zaragoza's defense collapse and finding those open looks.
You know, interestingly, Sek Henry actually played for Zaragoza, so the fans will know him. Played back in 2015, 2016. He's actually in his second stint with Pinar Karsiyaka. He is well-traveled. Here he is. Again, that quick left-handed shot. Played his college basketball. A few Americans watching back for the Cornhuskers. 2006, 2010. And thanks to his scoring and just, you know, some help from his teammates, obviously, but Sek Henry is the difference in this game. And that's why Pinar Karsiyaka are in this position right now, feeling very good about their chances of getting to the final. So Casademont Zaragoza, Josh, what are we going to see different from them in the second half?
Well, they have to be a little bit more collected in the second half. You see that final play of the first half there when Dylan Ennis had the ball. You know, was he going to isolate? Was he waiting for a pick and roll? You saw how Matsubai came up very aggressively, showed on the screen, and that's been the story of their evening. Haven't been able to play together. It's been a lot of individual play, and they've got to learn to sort of find a way to get each other in the game.
So the team from Izmir, Turkey, all smiles. Well, they know that there's still a lot of work to do, but they're just in one of those moments where it seems like everything is working for them. They have got the momentum, and they lead it here at halftime against a very good Casademont Zaragoza team. And we've been talking about him a lot, but let's talk about him some more. Sek Henry, watch how he gets open. He's hustling. Just needs a little bit of space. And that was the 4-point play that he got. Dylan Ennis tried to put him off the shot. So he went to the line and made the free throw rather, got the 4-point play. And you can just see that from behind that 3-point line, he is just almost unstoppable right now. And this is Suleiman trying to stop him. Nope. Plenty of space there for Henry. And we'll also get a look here at Nicholas Bersino, the leading scorer for Casademont Zaragoza. He got that early 3, and it looked pretty hopeful for Zaragoza. But the rest of his damage he's done at the free throw line, 4 of 5. So we're going to keep looking at the different angles of that 3-point shot. Luis Casimiro will be trying to draw up some other plays for him, for Elias Harris, for Jacob Wiley, and also hope that Dylan Ennis catches fire the way that he did in the quarterfinal. But it's 43-33, Pinar Karsiyaka on top at halftime.
It's time for the Fantastic Four to become the Fab Five.
Karsiyaka not doing anything down low. Oh boy, what a rejection from Raymar Morgan. The team drives in. Oh, that was a tough finish. He's definitely got some hang time. Bersino, bounce pass! Goodness gracious, Wiley! Jefferson looking very presidential. He puts it up. Good! Finally! And it's a 1-point game. They've got to believe in themselves. 6, Strasbourg. He had plenty of time to set his feet. And again, he had missed a couple of shots, but you know what? He's a good shooter. The miss, but Zimmerman there for the rebound. Passes it outside. And Morgan comes up with the basketball. He's going to go in. He's going to dunk it. And I think they may have called a foul. Yeah. They have indeed. They're already up 7. The final seconds ticking off the clock in the first half. And the foul called, it looks like, on Colson. Bullet pass from Omar Cook down low to Benite. Back in and wreaking havoc. Look at this again, whipping it in there. Wow. Through it again, rejected. And then Ruban again comes in and makes the play. Look at that. Goodness gracious. So Wainwright has the 4 fouls. He hands it off to DeAndre Lansdowne, who pulls up and gets to the drop. He was being guarded by Sasu Saline, and Saline looked like he kind of slipped as he tried to stop. And time now running out on Nizhny Novgorod. The pass. Oh, throw down right at the end from Rashid Suleiman. An exclamation mark. Oh, boy. Terrific. Oh, goodness me. Is he okay? Help him up. No. Looks like he's hurt. Is that Tyrus McGee? Wow. Look at that. A little bit delayed. I was shocked.
Well, we are in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. This is the Basketball Champions League Final 8, and it's Pinar Karsiyaka leading it 43-33. over Casademont Zaragoza. So Pinar Karsiyaka trying to make it to their first final in this competition in year 5. And boy, they have given themselves a great chance of doing that. And perhaps a huge debt of gratitude tonight to Sek Henry, who has just been relentless from behind the arc, making all 6 of his 3-pointers. He's got 19 points. You know, last night it was Raymar Morgan who basically said, just jump on my back, I'll get you to halftime, and then everybody kind of woke up. Well, tonight it was a different story for Pinar Karsiyaka. They were all ready to go, and Casademont Zaragoza have been on the back foot for much of this game. There's Sek Henry. Luis Casimiro has been in this game a very long time, and he'll certainly back his team's chances of getting back into this, but they have got to play better basketball. And Josh, well, I think we're going to hear from the coaches here shortly, but you know, still got 20 minutes to go. So long time to go here for Pinar Karsiyaka before they can start to celebrate.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you got to know a team like Casademont Zaragoza, especially in a game like this, they can throw everything they can at Pinar Karsiyaka. So it's going to be a very, very heat contested here in the second half. But more importantly, they got to try and play much better together, because at the moment, it's Pinar Karsiyaka who are looking much stronger collectively, that is.
Well, again, Beerson has been terrific. 6 points, 3 rebounds. And as you look at the players warming up, Simi Airden hasn't scored, but he's played a lot of minutes to give Raymar Morgan some time on the bench. DJ Kennedy's also played 11 minutes tonight, which is great news. Mbai has 6 points, just 1 rebound and an assist. And Tony Taylor came to life there in that second quarter, hit a couple of 3-pointers. He's got 10 points. Also, he has made all 4 of his free throws. But the big story again is Sek Henry, 19 points, 6 of 6 from the line, from 3-point range. He also has a 4-point play. He's, you know, making his only free throw, and if that continues, it's not going to be a happy return here for Casademont Zaragoza. So Zaragoza, meanwhile, Brasino with 7, Dylan Ennis with 5, Elias Harris and Jacob Wiley each with 6 points. And they're getting beat on the boards as well. Pinar Karsiyaka out-rebounding them 21 to 13.
Well, that's a key stat, Jeff, as you mentioned right now, because it's been a lot of offensive rebounds that's cost Casademont Zaragoza, Pinar Karsiyaka be coming up with. But again, it's the physicality. But more importantly for me, I've said so many times this game that shots have gone up for Casademont Zaragoza. Nobody's going in for a second chance. Pinar Karsiyaka, you see the shot go up, everybody's going for another rebound.
You know, 5 offensive rebounds for Pinar Karsiyaka, just 2 for Casademont Zaragoza. And it's also worth noting that it's interesting that 18 of the points for Zaragoza have come in the paint, so they just haven't been able to find their range from their shot from 3-point range. And well, that's basketball, isn't it? So plenty of time to make that right, though, and it's going to be interesting to see how they come out in this third quarter. So for people thinking there might be a chance of an all-Spanish final, well, maybe not, unless Casademont Zaragoza turn things around. And obviously, Burgos have got a very tough opponent to overcome in the second semifinal when they take on SIG Strasbourg.
What went wrong and what you need to improve to change the game?
Improve the energy and intensity. For it's a physical, real game. And after is we need keeping with our personality.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's interesting, talking about the intensity and the energy, and especially on the defensive end and the boards. You would imagine is one of the primary concerns for this team from Spain, from Zaragoza.
Well, he's got to make sure his team is a lot more aggressive, that's for sure.
Yeah, always. Okay, so how to keep the lead?
First half is good. We were good in offensively, defensively, but we have to play same way. 20 more minutes we have.
Thank you very much.
You can see Sadurjai. He's like, hey, listen, I can't talk right now. I got to go coach a basketball game. Just 20 more minutes of what we did in the first half. That'll be fine with me. So, again, at halftime, it's Pinar Karsiyaka leading at 43-33 over Casademont Zaragoza here in the Cultural Entertainment Complex Nagorny in Nizhny Novgorod. Great hosts. We have had one thing we haven't talked about, Josh, is it's been a very challenging season for the players, for the clubs, for the Basketball Champions League to have these games because of the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic. It has been an amazing achievement to make it this far. Just well done for all the clubs and the players and the Basketball Champions League, because I'm telling you, this Basketball Champions League Final Eight has been about as good a basketball as we have seen at this stage of the season in this competition. So we're being rewarded. These players are honed in and they are really getting after it. They know they've got a trophy at stake, and we're about ready to start things off here in the second half.
Of course, credit to the federations, credit to the Basketball Champions League, and to everybody, of course, making sure it was a very unorthodox season. But again, as you said, Jeff, one of the most exciting seasons I've been a part of.
So third quarter action underway here in Nizhny Novgorod, again with the COVID-19 issue. It puts a limit on fans being able to come into the arena to watch the games, and already a good defensive play by Casademont Zaragoza.
Jeff, it's little plays like that could get you back into the game. Just a little bit of a defensive hustle. Got his hand in the cookie jar and forced a turnover.
So Harris backs his way down, goes right at Raymar Morgan and scores.
Well, we've seen that a few times tonight, Jeff. He's taking the ball down low, uses physicality. I mean, he's a little bit undersized, but my word, is he very physical in the low block.
Jay Kennedy hands it off. Here's the danger man, Sek Henry. He thought about launching it, and now Raymar Morgan able to clear out down low, and Suleiman looking over at the ref saying, hey, this guy's pushing me around, but Morgan just basically says, I own the paint, get out of my way.
That is a switch that Casademont Zaragoza can't make. I mean, if they make that switch, somebody's got to come down and double team because he's just too big and just too strong.
Wiley showing his ball handling ability. Spins, turns, gets down low. Boy, that was a slick move. The reverse layup from Jacob Wiley. He's been pretty good tonight. 8 points now, the team's leading scorer. Well, he had some unbelievable dunks in the quarterfinal win over Nizhny. Here's Tony Taylor spinning his way into the paint. They've got
Jeff Casademont Zaragoza try not to help.
Dylan Ennis inside the arc. It's good. There you go. I mean, they've got to get something from him tonight, especially in this second half. He was held in check in that first half. 26 points in the quarterfinal. Oh, wonderful defense by Wiley, but Pinar Karsiyaka get it back. Is Raymar Morgan.
Scrabbled defensively there, but they got to come up with a loose ball because, again, Raymar Morgan under the basket. It's only one outcome, Jeff.
Substitution for Casademont Zaragoza.
This was Sek Henry getting blocked, so it was good defense. But like you said, they just did not come up with the loose ball. It's one thing to get the block, but then you got to get the ball. Suleiman looks like he might have picked up an injury. He comes out of the game. Harris. Oh, great play. Great finish from Wiley. That was big time. He took the punishment. and still made the shot. Now he goes to the line for a potential three-point play.
It's a nice little dish off there. Good little 1-2 punch between Harris and Jacob Wiley. But, you know, I've been saying all night, Elias Harris just needs to back down. But then again, as soon as the double team came over, found Wiley Airlines.
And that was a dangerous play by Ahmad N'Bai defensively, kind of backing underneath Wiley when he was off his feet. Every free throw, every possession important for Zaragoza right now as they try to get back on level terms and really challenge this Karsiyaka team. Right now, Wiley doing the job, 7 points, a lot of pressure. They meet him at midcourt, and they call the fouls. Tony Taylor was in trouble there. Good aggressive play from Harris, probably committed to foul on that reach. And then continued to get after it, and then picked it up.
Harris has come out a different player in the second half. You can see just denying Ahmad N'Bai the ball, not allowing him to get the easy pass.
They actually called that foul on Rodrigo San Miguel, not on Harris. That's what San Miguel does. He gets after you. Picked up a few fouls tonight, though. And the foul called on the drive. So DJ Kennedy go to the free throw line. Remember, he's got the tape on his fingers, so he's playing hurt effectively. I mean, imagine having on your shooting hand that issue. He could barely go last night, and he grits it out, makes the first. And
what I can't understand right now is Casademont Zaragoza. They had Pinar Karsiyaka down to 3 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, you have to be very disciplined at that point, especially not a foul player like him getting to the free throw line.
So Kennedy makes both free throws, his first 2 points of the game. Now a little bit of defensive intensity applied by Pinar Karsiyaka. Taylor goes down, and he draws the foul. So turnabout is fair play. Pinar Karsiyaka says, you want to play some tough D? Well, we'll come right back at you. Jacob Wiley, great hustle back, but this is the problem. San Miguel, that was a pass that just I know Dylan Ennis is a great player, but he's not going to be able to do much in that situation. Tony Taylor misses the first.
Jeff, I don't know if you noticed that, but Jacob Wiley was a bit 50-50 there trying to block, and in the end he went up with a very soft one and picked up a very careless foul. So it's a case of you don't want to pick that foul up, you got to make a decision whether to touch him or not.
So a foul has been called on Pinar Karsiyaka there, going for the offensive rebound. And Tony Taylor misses both free throws. So he's had some, had a chance to stretch the lead to 11 points. Does not. San Miguel has 3 fouls. It's one thing to keep an eye on. Harris catches and follows again. Well, Harris has woken up. The sleeping giant no longer asleep. He has been getting after it here in this third quarter. Morgan goes to work on Wiley. Size better. Great hands by Brasino.
Jacob Wiley now is on 3 fouls, so Pinar Karsiyaka have to be very smart. Try to get him into that 4th one. You know he's going to go for a block shot, so try and pump fake. Get him up in the air. Great defense there by Brasino, getting his hand in the cookie jar.
And have they bailed them out with a foul? No, they have not. Tony Taylor thought he was going to get a foul called. No. San Miguel did reach in and get. San Miguel got his hand on the basketball, and Taylor went down. I think he was, well. Now DJ Kennedy has been whistled for a grab. Theodore, the French referee, making the call. Great refereeing crew tonight. Semi Aridin, meanwhile, is going to check into the game. And Raymar Morgan's going back out. Hearing it from Sadija. Not sure what that's about. Brasino, alley-oop! How about that?
It wasn't the trademark Wiley Airlines one, but he did very well. He does that a lot. He does go backdoor when he's overplayed. And again, a great pass there. The finish ended up by Jacob Wiley.
So 51-44, they have cut the deficit to just 7 points. Big shot here, and Mbai doesn't get it to drop. And Wiley is everywhere, grabbing the rebound. Now Dylan Ennis, he's in attack mode. Back to Harris. An offensive foul called on Dylan Ennis.
I think they've called that for the push-up. Ennis got locked up. I think Ennis, watch right there, just swings with his left arm. And that's what they call the offensive foul for.
Look at that. Pass. Get it anywhere near the rim. And there's a good chance Wiley's going to catch it and score. But they had a chance to get even closer. 5 points in it right now. Semi Aridin catches down low. Oh, wow. What a finish from Semi Aridin. It wasn't with power. It was just getting it up off the glass and in. Three-point shot, Brasino. The follow again. Boy, they're much better on the boards here. Wiley is taking off. Zaragoza playing like their lives depend on it right now. They are really turning up the intensity here against Pinar Karsiyaka. And another turnover on Karsiyaka, and boy, look at that.
Throw it down,
so
Wiley.
Active.
Throw it down.
He's just so quick and such a quick leaper as well. They just beat Aridin. I mean, he's like, you know, playing with that sense of desperation that you have to play with to be able to get back into a game against this solid Pinar Karsiyaka team. And right now, all the momentum is with Zaragoza. Again, another alley-oop, this time well defended by Amat Mbai. Remember, Mbai and Taylor, both winners of the Basketball Champions League with Virtus Bologna in year number 3. San Miguel and Taylor talking to the referees, trying to get something clear. San Miguel taking exception to the hand checking, I guess, from Tony Taylor. Now the referee's like, hey, let's calm down here.
Very passions flying right now. Both players obviously want to win, but at the moment, you're right, they have to be very calm, very cool. Jeff, you watch every time Jacob Wiley sets a pick on the ball, just watch how quickly he reacts and goes to the basket. But as you said as well, Matt Mbai doing a very good job spotting that, just standing in the way, preventing the alley-oop.
Brasino puts on the deck. Oh, boy, and the reach. Brasino's mad that he didn't even come closer to making that shot. Because he had an open look, but it was with his left hand. And it was Morgan called for the foul. So Brasino takes his time, makes the first. And once again, it's game on here. Zaragoza closed that deficit to just 4 points. Terrific resilience here from the Spanish club. And Brasino that time a little wayward. The combative Taylor hands it off. Now Morgan, relatively quiet. Don't forget Wiley has 3 fouls. Doesn't want to pick up a silly one. Oh, good draw. That's a charge. A little bit out of control. Sek Henry trying to get back into the flow of things here. And Look at him calling the shots out there, Rodrigo San Miguel. What a floor general he is on both ends of the floor. Taking the charge as well, taking one for the team. Dylan Ennis from way downtown.
He's got to keep shooting those, Jeff. It's a good look for him, but he's got to make sure he gets them knocked down at some point, because if he can get it going, it could be a problem for Pinar Karsiyaka.
In by, guarded by the smaller San Miguel. Passes it back outside. Oh, the bump. They got away with it, Harris, and the ball thrown away, and Dylan Ennis chases, and the over and back call. I really felt like Harris got away with a foul there late in the shot clock. Right there. Well, maybe not. Maybe he was just moving his feet well. And look at the hustle.
That's what every coach loves. You love to see a play like Dylan Ennis. You think it's going to go for a backcourt, but he's wanted it. He wants to get in the open court. He wants to get back in this game. He knows from the perimeter it's not working. He's trying to find other ways to get his game going.
Yeah, Dylan Ennis knows two speeds, fast and faster. And right now we're watching faster. Here's Brasino. Drives in, tough finish. How about that? Wow. Right over Raymar Morgan. And guess what, folks? Casademont Zaragoza alive and kicking. They close to within 2 points off this drive from Brasino. And that was a tough finish from the Argentinian.
It's a much different team now here in the second half, Jeff. Of course, there you can see they're winning the third quarter. Much better, 18-10. But again, they're not settling for the perimeter shots. They're going down low to Elias Harris, playing the pick and roll with Jacob Wiley. And there you can see, of course, much stronger penetrations from Nicholas Brasino.
Well, we heard Casemiro talk at halftime about the intensity needing to go up, and we've seen it, haven't we, from Casademont Zaragoza? They have played at a different level, energy-wise. Of course, Tony Taylor also plays with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity. But, you know, it hasn't been matched quite as much from his teammates. So Pinar Karsiyaka, remember, they've led by as many as 14 points in this game. They were up 10 points at halftime. Everything was going according to plan. But they've been able to reset themselves at halftime, Zaragoza, and they've come out here in the third quarter, and with just under 3 minutes remaining, have pulled to within 2 points. This is goes without saying, a key stage of the game. So San Miguel has gone out. Rashid Suleiman has come back in for Zaragoza. You see the impressive numbers there for Tony Taylor, 12 and 5. And he's about as combative as they come. Mbai gets it to Morgan, down low. And can't do anything, doesn't even challenge Wiley.
Jeff, that was much better by Jacob Wiley. Hands up there, not reaching. Much better defense.
In fact, it was Harris who had was between him and the basket, who was the player that really did well defensively. And it was Wiley who came over to help out, but Harris has just been immense. Zaragoza, they can tie it, or they can take the lead with a three. Harris, guarded by Morgan. Turns, scores, and fouled by Morgan. Boy, yeah, as good as Morgan was yesterday, he is really struggling in this game. And Harris is really playing like the elite power forward out there right now. Great move by Casemiro to get Harris touches and to get Morgan over on the bench. So they're going with a different look now, Pinar Karsiyaka, as Harris makes the free throw. Just checking the foul situation with Raymar Morgan. So he's got 4 fouls. That was big. That was number 4. Even so, I mean, he hasn't really been on his game. And look at that. They had a chance to tie it. He misses the free throw. Missed free throws have been an issue tonight for the Zaragoza team. 10 of 15. I mean, 66%. You don't want him to be any lower than that, really. Taylor catches down low. Oh, good. Terrific rebound by Brasino. Dribbles with his head up. Gets it over to Ennis. Drives on. What a pass from Ennis to Wiley. Back to Ennis. They share it around. Ennis can't get it to drop. And then a foul from behind has been called on Pinar Karsiyaka's Mahir Agba. Will this be the time when Zaragoza take the lead finally?
Well, Jeff, a key thing for Casademont Zaragoza has been the fact that Elias Harris, it's not so much he's been a powerhouse in the low block, he's just been very intelligent, finding that contact, drawing the fouls, getting to the free throw line 2 times now. This time it was off a rebound. Very much intelligent play from Elias Harris.
And Zaragoza have taken the lead incredibly. They have turned this game around here with 1 minute and 36 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, somebody's got to step up big time for this Pinar Karsiyaka team. Medijan Pearson back in the game. He's got the basketball. Hands it off to Agva. Now back to Taylor. Henry, rather. Henry puts it up! Right on cue. I was about to say Henry had just gone quiet in the second half, but Wiley catches at the other end and puts it up and in to tie it again for Zaragoza.
Well, it's end-to-end stuff right now between these 2 teams.
Taylor pulls up his dribble. Oh, look at the extension from Wiley. What a play. And then they get down on the ground. Ennis, he doesn't want to lose possession, but they're not quite. And now did they call the violation on not getting the ball over? No, they called the foul. Watch this. That is what you call effort, Josh. Wiley, unbelievable. And then you get this. Look at the 2 players on the hardwood, both Zaragoza.
Lots of different team here in the second half. As we mentioned, I criticize them a lot. Not going for those offensive rebounds. Dylan Ennis on the floor diving. Jacob Wiley rising to the sky. Now he's at the free throw line here for his efforts. Puts him back in the lead.
Worried expression there from Sadija, the coach of Pinar Karsiyaka, because he knows that this Casademont Zaragoza team is a different team in the second half. They have taken the lead 58-56, and that's even after Zach Henry had hit that go-ahead 3-pointer. Suleiman comes around and commits the foul. That's number 5. Not a good foul at all. Stops the clock, and it puts Zach Henry on the free throw line.
That's the last player you want to foul. And again, Suleiman trying to go over the handoff. Just reached in. Again, anytime you reach, just give the official a chance to make a decision. It's the wrong player now going to the free throw line.
On the free throw line, second.
So Zach Henry, it's been a quiet 3rd quarter for him, but he's just hit a 3, and now he's gotten back to the free throw line and made the first. He's got 23 points. But misses the second. See what it means to these players. They are desperate to get this win that gets them to the final. This is why you play the game. You want to play in these big games, and you want those trophies. Suleiman puts it up, and it's good. Zach Henry, meanwhile, loses almost, isn't able to get the shot off in the end, and Zaragoza have really, in my opinion, almost risen from the dead here. They were in trouble at halftime, but they have come back strong in the 3rd quarter. And Suleiman's jump shot right at the end of the third quarter has put Zaragoza up by 3 points, 60-57 over Pinar Karsiyaka. See Zaragoza, Josh, just 2 threes. They hit just 2 threes, but it doesn't matter because they're winning.
Well, absolutely. It's the low block play there. You can see Elias Harris really just trying to back down with the finesse along with Jacob Wiley. We say that the game these days is played from the perimeter, but right now it's all about the post play for Casademont Zaragoza.
Well, as we look at these plays, Josh, I mean, the one play that I'm going to remember if Zaragoza are able to win this game was the pass was made into the low post, and it looked like it was going to be a Pinar Karsiyaka layup, but Wiley was able to just jump up, hands extended, and just get a touch on it and prevent the pass. And then Dylan Ennis and Barreiro both hit the deck. Jonathan Barreiro chasing the basketball to get possession, and sometimes it's those effort plays that make all the difference in the world.
If you talk about effort plays, Jeff, the best player in the game here in Europe is Jacob Wiley, because the man just has relentless amount of energies where he just does not give up. We've seen it for Casademont Zaragoza. We've seen it for North Macedonia. I mean, he will play for 40 minutes up and down the floor.
Yeah, well, this is definitely, I mean, I love watching Trygve Helenissen play, but, you know, right now they need Wiley out on the court for as many minutes as they can get, because he is making the difference for this Zaragoza team. So he's going to stay out there. Also, well, I mean, to be fair, Elias Harris has been terrific as well in this game. But that effort has been contagious, because you can see it's also spilled over, and all these other guys are getting after it as well. Can Pinar Karsiyaka rise to the challenge? They trail by 3 points here at the start of the fourth quarter. Here Agba still in the game, and with Pearson, Tony Taylor. Team, but the turnover, Brusino has it, he pulls up on the break, good! Zaragoza take their biggest lead of the game. They're up 6 points, and Metejan Pearson is down, holding his head. They've had some type of head bang. Watch this again. Oh, he just caught, Brusino caught him with his right shoulder as he went to the other end. It was a bit awkward. Hopefully he's okay. But Brusino wasn't going to slow down. He was going. You can see he drew a little bit of blood. Was that on that play, though? That's the question, because he got him on. Yeah, I guess it was on that play. That was a serious collision there for Pearson.
It's a very, very tough one, of course, because there is head contact there. But again, excellent job by Brusino there to come up for a loose ball. I thought he was going to miss that one because it was a poor shot selection, but I'll tell you, what a job he did of knocking it down.
Oh, excellent defense from behind by Rashid Suleiman. Playing his best basketball of the game here late in the contest. Suleiman gets to the deck, puts it up, and earns another trip to the line. And you just feel right now all the confidence is with this Zaragoza team, and Pearson is, ooh, yeah, you saw his head snap back.
Oh, that's a rough one, that is.
Maybe should have been a foul call on Brusino. But anyway, we'll see. At the line, Suleiman. I mean, both these teams are getting after it. That's what it boils down to, and really, that was the question. Could they match the intensity and the physicality of this Pinar Karsiyaka team, the way they played in that first half? And they have. They have exceeded it here in the second.
Defensively, Zaragoza has been very different. Hand the passing lanes, taking a little bit more pride in their man-to-man defense. Listen, Pinar Karsiyaka into some tough shots.
Oh, the team gets rejected by Wiley, who is playing like a man possessed. He absolutely owns the court right now in Nizhny Novgorod. Look at this. Great defense by Ennis. And then Wiley comes over and just says, not in the house of Nizhny Novgorod, not in my house. 7 points now the lead for Zaragoza. It's been a tale of two halves. Batim gets it to go. What a huge three for Batim.
That's a big shot, Jeff, because it just gives them a little bit of confidence. It doesn't let the game get too far away from them. Only a 4-point ball game.
Ennis over to, was that Wiley? So Wiley just doesn't know the word failure at this moment. He is just unbelievable. 21 points, 66-60. Zaragoza on top of Karsiyaka. Mbai steps back. Good. Now Pinar Karsiyaka starting to raise their level.
Huge shot there by Matt by their responsibility. Stepping up again. It's 2 big three-pointers now for Pinar Karsiyaka.
Big-time drive, and they get the foul called on Turkey, or excuse me, on Pinar Karsiyaka. So Dylan Ennis, the Canadian, will go to the free throw line. Just, perhaps a little bit of body there by Agva.
That's Dylan Ennis now adapting his game here in the fourth quarter. He's noticing the fact that he's realizing his perimeter shot isn't dropping, just getting to the basket. But again, getting to the free throw line, putting Pinar Karsiyaka into a bit of foul trouble.
Look at that. That is a great shot there. San Miguel talking with Suleiman. San Miguel's going to be a coach one day, isn't he? I mean, he wants to be out there. He's the floor general. But he knows he can make a difference. Also on the bench, Dylan Ennis gets the first to go. And I'll tell you what, this Zaragoza team would not be in this position without San Miguel. The way he played in those minutes, he was as tough as anybody. Dylan Ennis, meanwhile, takes it back to a 5-point lead. Now Sick Henry. Mbai just hit a three. They're all over him. Batim just hit a three. They're on him as well. And foul called on Suleiman. So that'll be the first foul called on Zaragoza. Seems like Pinar Karsiyaka is starting to rediscover that winning vibe that they had, or at least that combative vibe that they had in that first half. And another foul called, this one on Barreiro.
It's a smart play by Matt by that simple penetration. But again, it's time like this, you need your key players to step up and make big choices, because you can't let the game get any further away from you. Down by 5, they must stay in this one.
Kennedy back in. Puts it over to the team. Is it going to be a second three for him? Doesn't drop, but Agba gets the rebound. Now he goes to work. Short little jump hook, and then the follow, the tip rather, from Kennedy. Excellent work from Pinar Karsiyaka. That trip down the floor. They whip it to the corner to Brasino. Now Barreiro makes a tough pass to Wiley in the paint. And they have been bailed out by the whistle. This is Barreiro. Oh, they called it kicked ball. So Raymar Morgan back in the game. And DJ Kennedy goes out. Oh, tough pass. And Pinar Karsiyaka with Mbai are going to go down and dunk their way to within 1 point. A very bad turnover on the inbounds pass. Trying to get it to Brasino, and Pinar Karsiyaka, excellent work, and Mbai goes up for the two-handed flush.
Smart play there by Matsubai, just putting his hand in the cookie jar. And again, not a lot to separate these two teams here in the fourth quarter. I felt on that last play, Casademont Zaragoza a little too complacent there, giving up 2 open looks on the perimeter. You have to be more clinical with the ball, especially right now. We're in the fourth quarter.
Well, what a game it's been. You know, Pinar Karsiyaka were really assertive and in command, really, in that first half. They led by as many as 14. They went to the break up by 10. Sek Henry made all 6 of his three-pointers. It didn't look good for Casademont Zaragoza, but they came back out in the third quarter and fought like lions. And they themselves took a 7-point lead, but now you feel the momentum going back to Pinar Karsiyaka. So a very, I will say, important timeout for Casademont Zaragoza as they try to keep their noses in front, because this is a Pinar Karsiyaka team that has been on a mission. Trust me, folks. Look at that, 23 points for Sek Henry tonight, and he's had a phenomenal display. He did go a little bit quiet in that third quarter, but he's 7 of 7 from three-point range. Oh, excellent defense from Batim. And now the foul called on Rashid Suleiman, and the defense of Pinar Karsiyaka is coming to the fore.
Zaragoza need to compose themselves right now. That's back-to-back turnovers. Very careless play there by Suleiman.
Oh, hands up is what they say, and Batim had his hands up, and certainly one of the unheralded players of this Pinar Karsiyaka team. Batim, this great athlete. We've seen some fantastic plays from him this season. High-flying stuff, going to the basket. We saw him hit a huge three-pointer for Pinar Karsiyaka in this game not long ago, and now he's come out and made a big defensive play. Down low to Raymar Morgan, who has been quiet. And Raymar Morgan puts Pinar Karsiyaka back on top. And it's over to Suleiman. Boy, that was early in the shot clock. Boy, they saved the ball back in bounds, and it goes right to Brasino. I guess you'd have to say that's one of the cardinal sins. You never throw the ball back in under the basket like that, but it wasn't necessarily under the basket, but it went straight to Brasino.
I have to see the replay. I don't think you needed to say that, though. I think that came off a Zaragoza player.
I think you're right. Batim, meanwhile, shoots the three and is fouled by Suleiman. 3 free throws coming for Batim of Pinar Karsiyaka.
Not sure if that came off Brasino.
That was a tough one to call. I don't know who that went off of, but even so, Pinar Karsiyaka have responded, and kind of the X factor now is this man right here at the free throw line, Batim. He's got the hops. He's shown us the three. He's shown us the great D. Now he's going to the line for 3 huge free throws. He makes the first.
They did very well there to find some space and get that shot up. But again, you got to ask the question, the Casademont Zaragoza players, why would you run out jumper shooter? You just got to keep your hands up and force them into a tough shot. Instead, they send him to the free throw line now for 3 charity stripe shots.
Suleiman beside himself. It was his 4th foul, but just missed a big long 3. Now he goes over. He also had that turnover, and Batim only makes 2 of the 3, but nevertheless has put his team back in front. San Miguel. What a moment for him. Also Harris back in the game. Zaragoza. We want to get Harris the ball. He's been excellent. He's going to work against Agba. You have to say Harris has the advantage of this one. And Agba wins the battle. Harris took too much time on the shot clock. Excellent work from the big number 7 of Pinar Karsiyaka.
Somebody's got to shout out and tell him what's on the clock, but he's got to be aware as well. That's poor communication from the Casademont Zaragoza players.
I love the confidence that Sadija is showing in his Turkish players tonight. They, you know, some of these guys are not household names, but they are coming out and delivering here in the Basketball Champions League Final 8. The team gets it over to Sek Henry. Now Raymar Morgan picks up his dribble, passes it back, and into the corner. Batim saves it and is able to throw it off of, it looked like Brasino. There won't be much time left to throw it in bounds if they end up giving it to them. I think
have to review that one because I thought it came off Brasino.
Yeah, but I think they can only review it with less time on the clock. 3 minutes, is it?
Well, that's a tough one. That does look like it's hit the ground. I think they've got that one right.
So, Brasino has it. Excellent defense from Mbai, almost getting the steal. Harris down low. Oh, he almost had a three-point play opportunity. They called a foul. Is it on Raymar Morgan? If it is number 5.
The officials now are trying to decide who the foul was on because Raymar Morgan was there, but you can see the Pinar Karsiyaka players so infuriated. They felt that Elias Harris traveled before he took the shot.
They called the foul on Agba, number 7. Here he is.
That's the right call as well. So you can see his hands just reaching over there on the shot.
Great effort, though, by Pinar Karsiyaka defensively, trying to keep Harris out. I mean, Harris has been absolutely phenomenal again in this game. Really, really tough in so many different respects. And he makes both free throws. So Harris puts Zaragoza back on top. And Raymar Morgan, fortunately, has avoided picking up a 5th foul. So Henry picks up his dribble, hits on the back door, cut, Mbai, and he is fouled. How quickly it changes. Wow, great stuff in this Final 8 of the Basketball Champions League. Look at this, what a pass, what a find, what a cut.
Smart play by Mbai there, just the spot that Brasino overplaying him, just goes back door. And again, a Mbai, only one result.
He took it to the house. He took it to the big house. And Pinar Karsiyaka go back up 74-72. Look at him. Agba's really getting after him defensively. Ennis in the right corner, passes it back outside. The defensive pressure has really gone up for Pinar Karsiyaka. Rodrigo San Miguel hands it off to Wiley. Great job going to the basket, but he can't get it to drop. Morgan, now he's going to work. Morgan, good! Pinar Karsiyaka have gone up by 4 points. Ennis, back to Harris. Good decision. Harris travels.
Harris has got to go up with that. He's in the key. He's got to make some contact, get to the free throw line. But you notice Pinar Karsiyaka right now, how they're defending the pick and roll. They're sagging. I mean, he's got to go up, make contact, get to the free throw line. It's a careless turnover.
I think his coach was like, I don't know if he was saying pass it the other way, but nevertheless, I agree with you. I think he could have gotten a foul if he'd gone up. And all of a sudden, Pinar Karsiyaka in the ascendancy. And Zaragoza called timeout. You hear him say plenty of time. Let's And this is a Pinar Karsiyaka team that is going to go to the glass. Trust me. Unless Henry continues his outstanding three-point shooting, there won't be a need. Here's Morgan driving down low. Excellent work. And Dylan Ennis with the rebound. And Pinar Karsiyaka did not go to the glass like I anticipated. Ennis, little jump hook, not there. Mbai brings down the rebound.
That's a tough one there. He tried to force that one down low. I felt he probably could have kicked that one out, but again, now they got to do it again on defense.
Shot clock down to 8. Mbai has it, guarded by Brasino. And then fouling him with 4.9 seconds remaining on the shot clock. And not a great foul when you consider you've just put him on the line.
It's a terrible foul to give away because, again, as you mentioned, you're sending a good free throw shooter to the free throw line. In that case, all Brasino's got to do is get someone to take his man and find who else is open. Should never foul at the end of the shot clock.
Drop. Boy, these free throws, they're always so important, aren't they? Mbai with 14 points in the game. He has turned it over 5 times, and now he's 2 of 4. Excuse me, now he's now he's 3 of 5 at the free throw line. He makes 1. And it's a little bit of an uphill struggle here, though. Obviously, trailing by 5 points for Zaragoza. What do you do in this situation? The play. San Miguel, and have they called a flop on San Miguel?
Well, San Miguel's come over because they've tried to execute the Spanish pick and roll. San Miguel's tried to set a back pick with Jacob Wiley right after the pick and roll, right there. And you're right, I think they pulled a flop on San Miguel.
Well, it's called by Zarapovic. That's a wow. It's a big time call in that situation, but you know what? If he thinks he flopped, he's got to call it. And the technical free throw puts Pinar Karsiyaka even further ahead, 78-72. And Casemiro looks like he can't quite believe it. And also, that's 4 fouls now on San Miguel. Dylan Ennis as time goes down, fouled by Agva. And that's not a good foul either, Josh. You're talking late in the shot clock. You know, it's out on the perimeter, and now you've put him out of the line. What is he doing?
Well, again, I was talking about how well composed these two teams were. As you can see, 2 terrible fouls there on both sets of the courts there, from this time from Pinar Karsiyaka. I mean, the game's in their favor. They don't want to get Casademont Zaragoza into the penalty and allow them to get to the free throw line.
Well, I thought they had, but now the great defensive play by Pinar Karsiyaka has gotten them the basketball back. So yeah, they are not over the limit yet. Any more fouls and they will be. So in the end, it wasn't a bad foul. And here is the swarming defense that also we saw in their win against Nymburk. So apologies to Agva. Perhaps he was under instructions to go out and commit that foul late. I don't know. 78-72. Pinar Karsiyaka on top. And just under 2 minutes away from getting to the final. But Josh, 158 in basketball is a long time.
Oh, there's plenty of time. Yeah, I mean, right now it's going to be about, as we mentioned, we talked about this for the last few minutes. Casademont Zaragoza, they need to stay composed, get a stop, but more importantly, get a good shot down the other. And Pinar Karsiyaka, time's on their side. Run it down. Don't force anything. Go to a pick and roll. Make the defense spread.
The player that's gone kind of quiet really over the last few minutes has been Wiley, and he was just so crucial for Zaragoza as they not only came from behind but opened up their biggest lead of the game when they went up by 7 points. But, you know, I mean, you got to tip your hat again to Pinar Karsiyaka from the effort standpoint, from the mental fortitude standpoint. They have been terrific.
It's pretty hard to guard Jacob Wiley in the open court because he's just so explosive and so athletic. But Pinar Karsiyaka, what they've done defensively, they've done very well. They've sagged on every pick and roll. They've not allowed him to get to the basket quick because he loves to go for those alley-oops. So part of their game plan, they've done very well defensively, is Pinar Karsiyaka.
Well, the reach and the foul called on Elias Harris.
Fouls on number 8, Elias Harris, his third.
That's another silly foul to give away.
They've not shot it well at the line, though. I mean, that's the one thing you have to say. This Pinar Karsiyaka team, 14 of 24 at the stripe. And Raymar Morgan is at the line. He has made his only attempt tonight. Not that one. Far too early to be smiling on the bench, I would suggest. They know that they are close. Oh, so close. And now the free throw makes it a 7-point game for Pinar Karsiyaka. 79-72. Brasino. Are they looking to go down low? Quick pass to Harris. Harris gets in and denied, but he was fouled in the end.
That's a smart high-low play there between Jacob Wiley. Wiley flashed to the free throw line. As soon as he got it, dumped down to Harris. Very, very smart play.
Well, he got fouled by Mbai a couple of times. Well, three-point shot for Brasino, and I think they would rather have that than Harris going to the line, because obviously they've got three, so 79-75.
It's a big-time shot from Brasino. Just keeps them alive in it. Under a minute and a half to go now.
Oh, the drive, it almost went in for Mbai. Boy, if that had gone in, he would have had a chance for a three-point play. Look at Brasino, just in the next county making that one. He made that one from St. Petersburg, in fact. That's his range. He can really shoot it. 18 points for Nicholas Brasino, and he goes out having picked up his fifth foul. So that's the bad part of it. Crucial play.
I mentioned before, Jeff, fouling Pinar Karsiyaka, sent to the free throw line, might be a defensive tactic for Casademont Zaragoza right now.
Mbai is able to get 1 of 2, and the lead goes back to 5. San Miguel and Suleiman also have 4 fouls for Zaragoza. But now really arguably their most dangerous weapon is out. Oh, but what a tough drive it was from Dylan Ennis.
Much better play by Dylan Ennis. Get into the basket, not settling for that shot. Now it's a three-point ball game.
Well, they've called the foul on Dylan Ennis. And what you don't want to do is put Sek Henry on the line, although he did miss a free throw tonight. Well, they're letting him play down low, that's for sure. Look at the great defensive effort by Pinar Karsiyaka. I mean, that is just you have to compliment Ennis for being able to finish on that drive. That was a tough move. Okay, so in fact the foul was on Morgan, who has not been perfect at the line, but he does make that one. Remember, this was the guy that made the star lineup this season, one of the top 5 players in the league, and he was unbelievable in the quarterfinal. Has been Not quite as dominant tonight, but he makes 2 big free throws and goes to 14 points now, 6 rebounds. He also has 4 fouls. And with just over 59 seconds remaining, again, Karsiyaka get closer to the final. San Miguel.
Wide
Whip it to the corner. And the shot is no good, but the rebound from Ennis. And he doesn't pump fake. He just goes straight up. Right decision from Dylan Ennis.
Big time offensive rebound there, just keeping them still alive now.
Beteam goes in. Oh, and he just lost it. He was trying to go to the basket. Great defense from Wiley.
Wiley jumps in the air at the right time. He doesn't make that contact, keeps his distance, doesn't foul him. Great play by Jacob Wiley.
Beteam just wasn't able to get the shot off. I mean, the only thing you say there is that, you don't have to be in a rush. You don't have to take that shot. You got 24 seconds on the shot clock. So now, Zaragoza, will they go for a game-tying 3, or will they try to get it down low? They get it down low. Wiley, oh, and he passes instead of going for it. And they've got to commit the foul. So with 19.4 seconds remaining, look at this.
He's got to shoot that. Got to go for it.
Well, he was surrounded. He was going, yeah, that's, or even go stronger to the basket. And that's what Harris is saying. You got to go for that.
That was on his left hand, of course. You can see just went back to his stronger right hand, but you're right. He's just got to go for it regardless. Even afterwards, even when he went back to his right, enough time and space to go for a jump hook.
I mean, these guys are always, you're looking to make the extra pass to get the easy one. San Miguel is just fouled out of the game. And Henry makes the free throw. Still, trust me, folks, this thing is not over. 19.4 seconds remaining. Crazier things have happened in the sport of basketball than to come back from a deficit like this with this much time on the clock. Suleiman almost lost it with the rebound. Dylan Ennis has it. He drives in, he puts it up, they follow. Wiley goes in, and it goes off of Wiley out of bounds. With 11.2 seconds remaining. Oh, the margins are so slim. Ennis. Wiley was in the right spot. He just could not get the ball with both hands to go back up. And Pinar Karsiyaka are closing in on the spot in the final. Tony Taylor over to Mbai, and it's going to be Pinar Karsiyaka, folks. Moving on to the final. A late foul has been called. 0.6 seconds remaining. One of the great moments in club history. And Ufuk Sarıca has done what I don't think a ton of people expected him to do. He has gotten this team into the title game. It's all but done now. The opportunity was there for Zaragoza. They will go back and look at this game and know it was within their grasp. But Pinar Karsiyaka, you have to salute them. They have made the plays that they had to make. And Mbai takes it up to a 5-point lead. Boy, the agony of defeat, especially when you're this close to a final of a European club competition.
It's very tough for Casademont Zaragoza. It's been a fantastic season for them, but much credit now to Pinar Karsiyaka.
Well, you go back and you look, and there's so many different ways perhaps where Zaragoza could have helped themselves. They came out fighting, but in the end, at Pinar Karsiyaka, they hung tough, and they have won it 84-79. They move on to the championship game of the Basketball Champions League.
Jeff, this was a team in the first season of the Basketball Champions League in 2016-17 who, personally, I felt they underachieved with the team they had. Right now, they're out to set the record straight to prove that they belong as the champions amongst Europe's elite.
Wow, Wow, these guys are exhausted. They deserve their win tonight. Zaragoza really need to be applauded for the way they battled back, Josh. Talk us through these stats.
Well, look, the three-point stat says it all. Casademont Zaragoza, a team that's renowned for shooting from the perimeter, 4 for 17. I mean, look, it's only a 4-point game, but if they shoot just a little bit better from the perimeter, could this have been a different night for them? Of course, the rebounds as well. Pinar Karsiyaka, just for me, was so much more aggressive and so much more clinical on the offensive rebounds. Jacob Wiley, you know, top scorer, really renowned as an energy player. Rosino, and of course, Dylan Ennis. Tough night for him. That was the difference. Could have been a different game for them. But if he had a better game, we'll never know.
Well, the happy scenes of Pinar Karsiyaka, all hugs. One more for this team, and they will really be immortalized. I mean, they will go down as champions. It doesn't matter, though. It's not going to be an easy game, whoever it is. If it's going to be against Hereda San Pablo Burgos, or maybe it'll be against SIG Strasbourg. Gosh, just a further proof, really, that just another incredible chapter in what has been a magnificent Basketball Champions League Final 8. This game was a heavyweight battle. I mean, it was won by Pinar Karsiyaka, but Zaragoza came out and really showed us some terrific fight. But you know what? When you got to play 40 minutes, they were a little bit on the back foot in that first 20 minutes. They were able to come back and take the 7-point lead. You just have to really salute Pinar Karsiyaka. Defensively, they came out and were solid over really the last several minutes of this game, and they kind of neutralized the factor of Wiley and Harris, and they raised their own level. And again, I have to say with Sarija, he showed faith, not just in 5 or 6 players, but he went deep to his bench, and he was rewarded tonight with an incredible win to get to the final.
A lot of things for Pinar Karsiyaka is going in their favor. I mean, having 2 players, of course, that have won this championship, as we mentioned back in 2019. This is why you have to love the Basketball Champions League, because the story is never written. Could be anyone's night, could be anyone's game, could be anyone's championship. Pinar Karsiyaka, they started the game off very well. Casademont Zaragoza, they pegged back, they took a 7-point lead, and again, the composure, the experience, the collective play of this Pinar Karsiyaka team, it saw them through the final end, and they'll be going on to the final now.
And it's funny that, you know, we talk about Raymar Morgan being in the star lineup and not having a Raymar Morgan type of game tonight, but really, when it comes down to it, he had a really good game. You know, he played with 4 fouls, a lot of minutes late, and he finished with 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, plus 19 efficiency. I mean, he was terrific in the end. Sek Henry, 24 points. His shooting really set the tone, that 6 of 6 early on. But, you know, you just can't, everybody, you have to say there were so many people that contributed to this win tonight for Pinar Karsiyaka. And Tony Taylor, 12 points, 6 assists, a couple of steals as well. The team had some big plays. And Mbai, of course, 17 points. You always know he's going to come out and play hard. 2 rebounds and a steal. Pinar Karsiyaka, again, they'll be partying tonight in Izmir. They'll be happy that they have a team in the final. And now the big question is, who will they meet? Well, look at the road to the final. Will it be SIG Strasbourg? Will it be Hereda San Pablo Burgos? We're about to find out, folks. So, Josh, thanks for joining me on this one, and you'll be joining me for the next one as well. It has been a fun ride already in the semifinals. One more to go, folks. One last time. 84-79, Pinar Karsiyaka win it over Casademont Zaragoza.
Congrats, you're on the final. Can you say what was the key factor of the win?
Just our grit, the way we play together, the way we stay together.